Alright, today I'm putting a lithium in here. It's a 2008 club car with the center thing. I already took the batteries out and that little cover that goes off the middle. So I'll be showing you how I move this thing over and installing the rest of the stuff. Yeah, I'm sure I could unhook these wires. That's what I did last time. And then I was able to move this whole thing over. But what I'm going to try now is just cutting right alongside here to see if I can try to just get this thing out. Alright, I actually just was able to pull it up a little bit, so it'll give me a little better access at cutting. That might be enough. There you go. Now it's free. So what I like to usually do is I'll line it up on this thing here. So I should be able to just wiggle the wires. I'm going to put the phone down so I can use two hands. But you know, before I do that, I'm going to remove this little charge port so I can put our next one in. So I'm going to pop this little cap off with a screwdriver. This is not the right way to do this. I'm actually damaging it. I think there's a special tool for it, but the fact is I'm not going to be using this. So I am going to also take my screws and remove my Phillips head and remove, there's some, I think 3 Phillips heads in here. Okay, sometimes they're not Phillips heads, and so if they're Phillips heads I could usually just put this in here, line it up and unscrew it, but these are the Torx bits, so I'm going to have to take these 2 top ones off so I can lift this whole thing up. So now I can kind of lift it and pop this thing out. Now I'll have better access to those bits down there. Okay, I'm still having trouble getting into this without having to take this whole thing off, and I don't want to take this mat off, so I'm going to use my grinder to try to get into it. And I'm going to cut from the back the tabs off. There it is. So I'm going to leave this all connected and wired up. That way I don't have to mess with the onboard computer at all. So this will just stay in here somewhere. I'm replacing that charge port with one of these. These were 9 something off of Amazon, so I ordered a bunch of them. And this is what that is. Just a little new charge port. So you don't have to open up the seat every time you want to charge. And believe it or not, this fits right in here. Let's thread it in here. Pull this wire out the back. And then we will put this just like this. Like that. And so we're going to use some screws to screw this in nice and tight. And yes, I am using drywall screws, but I've never had these things come out ever. And people yank these things when they're renting them and all that. So I'm going to do that last screw and that's it. Make sure everything is tight. And that's a nice tight fit. And you know, it'll pull the whole plastic out before it pulls this thing out. See that? So it's got a nice fit. I'm going to just close that up for now. And so this end will plug into our new charger. The next thing I like to do is, so I like to move this big thing over here where it lines up on here. There's nothing on this side, so what I like to do right across is cut a slit with my grinder right in there for this to go into. Now that I have my slit, I'll slide this into here, and then I can move the whole thing flat. Okay, so that's in there, and then lastly I will, since it's not staying up against the wall here, I'll do a hole here and then put a bolt through so it presses this up against here so this won't go nowhere. Alright, I also realized I'm going to want to put a little bit of a slot right here. Otherwise, when I push this thing up, it's pushing this thing out a little bit too much, which will make the seat not sit right. So I'm going to do another slot just like I've done this side on this side. So that's going to be right around here. Alright, cut a little slot out, a little rough looking, but you see it doesn't have to go all the way to the top because this doesn't go all the way to the top. So let's go ahead and see if we can squeeze this in. Alright, that pops right in. So now it's in on both sides. It's actually holding pretty good, but I'm still going to put that screw in there just to extra hold it. There. So now it's being held down nice and straight. It's not pushing out on the front here because it's in the hole there. I got to put these screws back in from when I took those out. But then we have plenty of space for a battery, and our charger is going to go right here. The charger. Do this next. Alright, we're going to put this here. Not sure where I'm going to mount it. Usually, sometimes I mount it up like this so you can see the little indicator. I think that's how I'll do it. And then we can plug in our charge port into our charger here. Just like that. So, and then once we get the battery in here, we'll run our wires, positive and negative, to it. And then I usually put the DC converter around here somewhere. Next thing is I'm going to cut these tabs that are sticking up so the battery can sit flat. So we're just going to use our grinder. Alright, so I got this, that, and that, and so everything's pretty flat now. I'll get some of these leaves out and throw a battery in. So next I'm going to do this screen. I'll mount this and show you how I do it. So normally I would put it right here, but since this one had an old hole here for the original, or an older meter, I am going to put this here, like that. I'll show you how I normally do it though on another cart. Normally, I will drill a little hole in here, fish the two wires through, the positive and negative, and just high temp hot glue it to the dash, and that's it. And then the positive will go to the switch on the positive of the key. So when you turn this on, it turns on the screen. And then the negative will go to, if I can find a negative up front, usually there's a negative for your lights or something, and then when you turn the key off, it turns the screen off. So that's how that goes. Unfortunately, these come with like a mount for a handlebar and this big plastic piece out back here, so I have to grind these off. So I use my grinder to grind them. So I grinded it off here. Probably make it a little smoother, but it's pretty good. And I will usually fill this with high temperature hot glue to make it try to keep it as waterproof as possible. I have pressure washed these while they're on the cart, and it's been rained on and they've always worked fine. I just want to make sure there's no, so I'll fill this with hot glue, or if you don't want to use hot glue, you can use some other kind of sealant. But fill that hole up, and then you can use the same high temperature hot glue to mount it, and just push these wires to the back. I got these black high temperature sticks. They're a little more resistant, and then the black doesn't show as much on the black paneling. So okay, while this is heating up, I'm going to go ahead and put the battery in here. So this must be a new thing, because now there's a button on these. I've never seen that before, and I've been ordering these constantly. So I wonder if that's a new thing. I guess it is. So I got these little brackets. I believe they're charger mount brackets, but I just use them to kind of hold the battery in place. So I'll tighten up this screw. Whoops, tighten up this screw over here. And this is just to keep it from bouncing around. It comes with these tappers that go right through the frame, into the frame, and so it just helps it sit nice and center. But you can still pull it out the top. Anyway, moving right along. If I don't use those, a lot of times I'll stuff styrofoam in each side, and I'll usually use the styrofoam that comes with the battery. So I'll just take this, you can just rip these little pieces off pretty easily. And then what you can do is put them on either side and just kind of help the battery stay nice and centered and protected. So you can do something like that if you'd like, or you can use more styrofoam. It comes with a bunch of it. There's more on the bottom. So now the hot glue is nice and hot, so I'm going to go ahead and fill the little hole. I filled it like that with some clear one, and I'm going to go ahead and mount this now. Okay, that's on there. I spilled a little bit, so I'm going to use my heat gun and just lightly melt that smooth. This hole's a little bigger than the screen, but hopefully you won't really see it at this angle. Anyway, so like I said, with the wires, you got your positive and your negative here. So your positive is going to go to the switch of your key, and the negative is going to go to a negative here. I will usually use the negative of the old meter that was here, so that's what I'm going to do. Just hook up the negative to where the negative used to be hooked up on the old battery meter. Okay, now I'm going to wire in this DC converter. You can see we got 4 wires, got 2 in, 2 out. The fuse side is our input, got a black and a red. Our black is our negative input of 48 volt, and so instead of running the whole wire to the here, I'm just going to tie this into our negative of our charge cable. So I'm going to splice this into this cable. I already started it, and so then I had to extend it because I'm going to move it over here. So we're going to connect our negative here. Next I'm going to hook up our positive and negative output on here, and that's going to go to our accessories like our 12 volt lights and whatnot. Alright, it's a bit of a mess, but we got almost all of our wires hooked up. This is this yellow wire is a positive out going to our accessories, like a radio, soundbar, lights. This next black output is the negative for that same thing, and then this next black is splicing into our charger cable, which will be going right to our negative directly to the battery. And now this positive, I want it to be switched, so when the key's on, it sends power to here, and when the key's off, it turns this thing off, so it's not constantly draining the battery. I studied some wiring diagrams, and I believe when you turn the key, it sends positive power to one side here. Sorry, that's my kid helping me. One side here of the solenoid, it'll send power, and then when you step on the pedal, it grounds it out and completes the circuit. But theoretically, I think I can make this work just by figuring out which side of the solenoid is affected by the key. So I'm going to try to figure that out with my multimeter, and then we'll go from there. Okay, as I suspected, we got 0 volts. I have it up to negative here and positive here on the meter. When I turn the key on, that jumps it up to 52.5 volts. So what that simply means is that when we turn the key, this blue wire going to the solenoid is energized at 52 volts. So we're going to cut into that. We're going to make a little adapter so that we can use that blue wire as our keyed for our DC converter. Alright, I created this masterpiece through the amazing feats of engineering. It's just a splitter. So it's going to split the power going to our solenoid. So this red wire is going into this little spade connector, and we will connect these two together like so. So that connects to there. This goes into our solenoid where the other one used to be. So let's plug that there. And so now that's plugged into that. And so last we'll just hook up this to our original blue wire here. So this is going to connect to here. And there we go. So if all is correct, when I turn the key on, I should get power to our screens and to our lights, and the cart should be able to still run. There's the power to our screens. Let's see if our lights work. Lights are working. Let's put it in forward and see if we get a solenoid click. That would indicate that we still have power. Hold on. After it just got to get into a... Turn it on here. There we go. Solenoid click, and she wants to go. So that's that. Last thing I'm going to do here is mount this probably right here and try to zip tie some wires up. Alright, almost done. I'm probably not going to do anything with this, but in order to make this fit, I'll have to do some serious cutting along the side, which I'm not going to worry about right now. Maybe I'll do it later, but it would fit here and go over. Or maybe if I just cut the sides completely off and just have a top. That might look nice. I'm going to try that. Alright, well, I cut it. I did a rough job, so it's not perfect. I could have definitely... You have to trim a little bit here because obviously it's deeper. But I could have made it look much nicer, but I just was fooling around. But it looks pretty good. Now we're going to go ahead and test it out and hook up the... connect the Bluetooth via, the way you have to do that. And I'll show you how that's done. And I got to also clean up this hot glue. So I'm going to just use a heat gun and try to clean that up a little bit. But also I have a little screen here as well that I install, and it's only it's like less than $50 for that screen, and it lets you hook up to Apple CarPlay and stuff. But you need a sound bar, which I'm going to be installing. I even left out some wire so I can hook up the 12 volts to it. Please see another video, my other video about how to hook that up. It's just pretty simple. All right, let's go ahead and give this thing a test run and hook up our battery to our meter. Alright, here's the final step. We're going to go ahead and hold this power button down. One click, another click, and then I'm going to hold it until it starts flashing, like that. Let go of it. I'm making a video now, Carm. And it should connect. Give it a second here. Let's do this one more time. Oh, it connected. Okay, so I'm at 32%. And that's about how much they ship them with. So let's see how she runs. I'm gonna get off this. Ooh, yeah, it's got a lot more power than it did before. That's for sure. Wow. Totally different cart. Here we go. Oh man, she gets up and goes nicely now. Woo! Yep. Alright, thanks for watching. And we'll see you on the next video.